It's an overcast day, a little muggy, not too bad, temperature's cool. Kind of day, you know, it could rain. I hope it does. I hope it does. It's kind of an exciting day for me because I get to try a new tobacco that's been on the list for a while. I've been smoking Prince Albert a lot. I smoke more volume or more quantity of other tobaccos, but I smoke Albert more frequently, more often than I do anything else. I've got a little working pipe, a small little thing that I bought solely for the purpose of taking to work, so I could beat the crap out of it. I could bang it around, and I'm not concerned about it. I'm not worried about it. But it's a real small bowl, like maybe, you know, anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes smokes is what you're going to get out of it. And I take it to work, and when I get a minute here and there where I can kind of hide away, I'll smoke it. And I take Prince Albert with me because it's so easy. It's such a straightforward, simple blend. It's good without needing a lot of attention and focus. It's consistent, it's reliable, and it's cheap. It costs so little that I don't have to take care of it. I don't have to baby it, and I can run through it. If I need to knock the bowl out and get back inside real quick, I can do that, and I'm not worried about the wasted tobacco. Prince Albert and that little pipe Roy have been a great combination for work. So I feel like I know Prince Albert pretty well by now. I've gone through about 2 jars of it. It comes in a dumpster truckload. Like if you order it, they'll give you a voucher. You call a company, you give them the voucher number, and a dump truck shows up. It pulls up next to the curb in front of your house, and they basically, kind of like mulch or like river rock for landscaping, they basically back up to wherever you need the tobacco dumped, and for about $35-40, an entire dump truck load of tobacco is left at your doorstep or the front of, you know, the curb down by the street, wherever you need them to dump. A massive load of Prince Albert is what you get when you buy some. You can't get a pouch like this, but I'm not complaining because it's delicious and it's lasted a long time. I got a lot more of it. Point being, I have had a lot of time to sit and soak it up, and I finally feel like I've gotten to the point where I understand Albert, where I get it. I know what to expect, and so he is part of. He's kind of a split point between 2 different runs that I'm doing, one being straight Burleys and one being codger blends. I got Prince Albert initially as part of the Burley run, the straight Burley run, but I've been so impressed by it that I thought, okay, maybe I should do a codger run, see what else in that same price range, see what else there is and what they're like, the old standards, the old classics, you know. Kind of the Coca-Cola, Pepsi's, RC Colas of pipe tobacco. So I've bought a handful of what do I have right now in the cellar? I've got Sir Walter Raleigh. I've got half and half. I thought I had another one. Maybe I don't. Anyways, I'm slowly collecting the different codger blends. So Prince Albert has been part of a Burley run, part of a codger blend run. I've gotten familiar enough with it. Love it. Love that tobacco to death, man. It will always be in my rotation. It will always be in the cellar. I've gotten familiar enough with it that I'm ready to try the next codger and see how it compares. And today, that's what I'm going to do. I'm stoked about it. I wanted to wait until I finished off the Albert, or at least got to a stopping point with it. The pile down by the curb is about the size of my car, so it's a good stopping point right now. So I can move on to the next one. I can try another one. I'm giving myself permission. It's half and half. How's this going to show up in the light? Half and half. It's not going to show up. That kind of shows up, right? That's the blend that I'm going to review. This is a first impression. I don't know that I've done any of these yet. This is going to be like my first taste. No, I did with Prince Albert. I did. I showed the first impression with Prince Albert and did not do a review after that. I could. So we're going to see what half and half is all about. I'm expecting... Albert is notable and impressive because it's such a simple, straightforward thing that's so good. It's so consistent. You know what you're getting under any different condition. You know what to expect. It's not complex. There's not a whole lot going on. It's just super simple, super straightforward, and yet delicious. You can't stop going back to it, even though there's nothing really phenomenal about it. That is what's phenomenal about it. So it's weird that way. So I'm kind of expecting, with half and half, I'm expecting basically one of two things. I'm expecting it to either be the same kind of thing, in other words, real straight, simple, nothing crazy about it, nothing complex, just kind of a different flavor of that same kind of an animal. Or I'm expecting it to be something totally different. It's going to throw me for a curve. Right now, my money's leaning on it's just basically going to have the same theme that Albert does. I think there will be a theme running between the codger blends. They're all going to be real simple, real easy, no frills. Don't have to think about it. Basic, just different flavors of that. That's kind of what I'm expecting. Kind of, again, like big name soft drinks or sodas, where you know that this is, they're all basically the same thing, right? A soft drink is a soft drink. It's just different flavors of it until you drink them all the time, and it's like they all kind of start tasting the same. I think something similar is going to happen with the Codger Blend run. Half and half. There's a better label for you. Half and half. Half and half. Let's see what it has to offer. I'm going to be smoking it in my... This is Ricky. Lighting is terrible in here. This is Ricky. Kind of a poker, kind of a billiard sitter. I got a video coming up on this guy. A Brian Doran pipe. Or Doran, I'm not sure how to say it. I think it's Doran. Interesting how I came across this pipe. Beans 316 made this thing, and it's a killer pipe. I'm going to try half and half for the first time in this pipe. I'll do a video on that pipe, by the way. Here we go. Okay. What does it smell like? What does it smell like? You can't compare it to Prince Albert, but you can't help but not. Okay. It's pretty. It is the same. It looks like Albert as far as the cut goes. Moisture level. Oh, it's nice and cool. It is the same moisture level as Albert. It's a little darker in color. There's a little bit of black leaf mixed in there. I would show you. I'll try and show you. You're not going to see it. You know, I don't know. What's the lighting like? You're not going to see it that well, probably. I don't want to spill this stuff. Oh, come on. Give me a little bit of light. You're not going to see it. My seat just broke. It just came apart. This is the seat that I have been, man, hold on. This is the seat I've been using this whole time. It just broke on me. I can't help but feel like that's a sign of some kind. Look at this. It just broke. You see that? I don't know if you see it. I don't know if it's showing. It's probably not showing. Seat just broke on me. That feels like a sign of some kind. I'm probably reading into it too much. Half and Half smells delicious. It smells good. Oh man, you know. I feel like the plastic is detracting. I don't have a plate to put it on. It's good. It is. It does have that kind of like old school pipe tobacco, run of the mill, almost like really, really nice smelling roll your own. It's in that same ballpark. This is not like a Cornell and Deal or Garwith and Hogarth. You know, this isn't a fancy thing, obviously, but it smells like, hey man, this is old school, over the counter, run of the mill. But like, there's a sweetness. I'm not picking up. Prince Albert reminded me of earth, like wet soil. I'm not getting that. There is kind of maybe it is kind of earthy. There's kind of a tree, a wet wood kind of thing. There's a brightness in there that I'm not getting from Albert. I don't know, man. I need to smell this out of the bag, and I don't have a plate in here with me. I don't have a substitute for a plate in here with me. I need to smell this without the plastic is getting in the way a little bit. It smells good. It smells fresh. It does kind of smell earthy. I'm not picking up like a nuttiness or like a... I'm picking up a little more sweetness than what I get when I smell Prince Albert. And it's almost, it's not fruity, but it's... What is that? It's leafy. I don't know how else to explain that. Instead of being like the woody part of a plant, it's like the leafy part of a plant, or the stalk or something. It's got some brightness that reminds me of Christmas. A light, earthy brightness to it. Does not remind me, not a Virginia brightness. Okay, let's light it up. There's like a fresh, clean package. Yeah, there's something in there. I can't put my finger on that one. This is going to be interesting. I heard that Sir Walter Raleigh, is hit or miss. You can get a bad batch of it. Tastes like vinegar or smells like vinegar. It will ghost pipes. I've heard this from a few different places. I have not heard any such thing about Half and Half. Saw a video where Matches 860 and I think it was Sergeant Savinelli, they were smoking some Half and Half from 1920 or the 1920s, somewhere in that period. and they were saying that there was a stark difference between the old recipe and the new, and I think it had to do with one of the ingredients was some kind of a bean from South America, I think they were saying, and regulations made it so that government regulations made it so that ingredient could no longer be used, and there was they said a notable difference between the old and the new stuff, the stuff that's out now. Not that new, but so I guess this is one of those blends where, you know, they say what you get now ain't what it used to be. It ain't what it used to be, but it's still super popular. I'll never know what it used to be. Well, I can't say I'll never know. I may one day. Feels like a good pack. I think it's a good pack. Yeah, this has some bright element. Less like brown sugar than Prince Albert. In the pipe, the dry draw is like, reminds me of my papa's chewing tobacco. Reminds me of the dip and the chewing tobacco my papa used to use. I think this is going to be an interesting one. We're lighting pretty easy. Yeah, lip real easy. Again, like Albert. Wow. Again, super smooth. Like Prince Albert. You know, I can't help but compare this to Prince Albert because that's kind of the whole point, right? It's a codger run. And that's the only reference point I've got right now, so. Ultra smooth. I got some coffee to go with it. I had some coffee to go with it. Let's see what we get here. Yeah, there's some kind of a bright element there. Less nutty, less toasty. What is that? It's familiar. I mean, this is smooth enough you could inhale this. You could roll this in cigarettes. Half and half pipe tobacco, burley and bright tobacco. I wonder if I just read that word and it popped like on subconscious level. Cool smoking, improved cut. That's all it says. You could roll this into cigarette tobacco. You could smoke this as a cigarette easily. Easily. what is that? There's a higher tone there. Real clean, real fresh. Yeah, man, this is a light, creamy, smooth. I'm not picking up the same low-end depth that you get with Prince Albert, the kind of deep earthiness. I'm not getting that. There's a similar flavor, but it's a little... It's not as nutty, it's not as... It still tastes earthy, but it's not as nutty, it's not as deep, it's not as dark or toasted. And then stacked on top of that is like a bright, light, very clean, leafy taste. Burn it hot, see what it does. A little richer in flavor. I don't know what that is. This is good. This is very good. This is very good. And it is kind of like I was thinking, like, okay, it's a similar animal. But a different flavor. This is good. There's a little dude on the label. I don't know if you can see him. There's a little dude with a hat. This lighting sucks. There he is, kind of. It's a little dude with a hat and a feather in his cap. I worked this job where one of our supervisors, one of my bosses, when they got in a pinch and they needed to move crews around, they would pull somebody off one crew that did, you know, whatever, residential work, put them on another crew. You know, maybe they did residential windows, and they would pull you off to put you on commercial doors to shuffle things around because they had to do it, you know. He would always try to make it look like they wanted to do this for your sake. It was an advantage for you. It gave you another skill set, right? Build your skill set. That's why we're doing this. It's not because so-and-so failed a drug test last Tuesday. No, we were thinking about you and your future and what skill set you had and how you could use that to get a better job and improve your conditions and step up in life. He would always refer to that as putting a feather in your cap. Yeah, man, we're going to move you over to the commercial door crew. It'll be another feather in your cap. I got a lot of feathers at that job. But I never failed a drug test, so there's that. Every time I see a picture, anything of a person with a hat that has a feather in it, I think of Troy. Really smooth. Hooray for this codger. Hooray for the smoothness of these codgers. Smoother than any other tobaccos I've tried. These guys are just, I guess that's the point. They're made to be accessible for everybody. Maybe the point is that they're made to be kind of mindless. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to focus. You don't have to be careful. Just do your thing. Just light it up and smoke it, man. I could smoke these as cigarettes. This could be dangerous. Can't put my finger on that element. It's bright is the only word I've got. That whoever the marketing team for Half and Half nailed it when they put burly and bright. Nailed it. It's bright. It's an almost sour. Right on the tip. It's almost, it's not tangy, it's almost a sour, like a good kind of sour. Very light, feather, like a feather. It just kind of just a feathering of sour note in there. I bet when you get to the bottom of the bowl that becomes more prominent. Mm. Yeah. Solid tobacco. Half and half. So I'm going to sit and smoke this thing. Later, when I've soaked it up a little bit, maybe I'll do a longer review. I want to inhale it. It's... Yeah, really easy to inhale. I think this one could be dangerous because all the pipe tobaccos give me good things as an alternative to cigarettes. They're no good. I've tried inhaling them and they're no good as, you can't treat them like cigarettes. They deter me. They make me not want cigarettes. This is kind of dangerous because this makes me want to smoke it like a cigarette. Okay. When I burn it hotter, there's a sweetness that's coming out, and it reminds me of Virginia. I'm wondering if that's Virginia. There's a sweetness that is similar to kind of reeds or hay or grass. A very light element there. That brightness might be, maybe that is what it is. Burley and bright tobacco. That brightness might be Virginia. Oh. Duh. Half and half. So probably, I'm just going out on a limb here. Maybe it's half Burley and half Virginia. Wow. Wow. Okay, that's exactly what this is. I mean, unless I'm wrong, now that that's on the front of the mind, this is a blend of Burley and Virginia, and they've toned the Virginia way down. They've brought the Burley up a little bit, and brought the sharpness of the Virginia down, and we're right there in the middle. And the blend is like seamless. It's trying to go out on me. That's what we got here, right? That's my guess. This is half Virginia and half Burley. And that would explain why it makes me think of cigarette smoking. Because Virginia tobacco, but not... The cigarettes are usually mixed with Virginia tobacco, I believe. But it's not the finer Virginias that I've been smoking that have that tang and the super sweet hay. Now it's coming in through the middle of the bowl. I'm getting it. That's Virginia. So we're looking at half Burley, half Virginia, is my guess. And bright must mean bright Virginia. It's good. It's good. It's good. I'll have to give it some more time, soak it up a little bit. It's very good. I could see myself smoking it as a cigarette, which spooks me a little bit. I could see myself avoiding this completely when I'm craving Virginia pipe tobacco, because it's got just enough of that taste to make me think Virginia, but none of the delivery of what you would get from like Capstan or... It's a good tobacco, but I feel like if you've had better, you wouldn't go here. And if you're looking for what, I don't know, man, if you're looking for something no fuss, no muss, you can bang it around and no problems, Albert still surpasses this by miles. But this is all first impression. So we'll give it some time and see what we think. Half and half. Here. Half and half pipe tobacco. Worth a shot. If it came in that massive tub that like Prince Albert comes in, I would be a little disappointed right now. If I had just spent $40 on this and realized that I've got months of smoking, you know, months of a supply just sitting in the drawer, like I'd be a little like, now I've got to figure out what to do with this stuff. That's how I would feel, I think. But it's not bad. Not bad.